Welcome again to another episode of Deep Dive with Tranquility. Today it's a very interesting day. We have a special guest, Miss Indra, who will be talking about auricular laser acupuncture therapy. Now, this is one therapy that most people are not familiar with, and I'm glad that you have you in our studios so that you could dissect it and explain it clearly, not only to me but to our viewers. Before we start, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi Manla and hi viewers. I'm very happy to be here and thank you for having me. My name is Indra and I love the field of auricular laser acupuncture. I actually do therapy for the addicts at Tranquility and I'm also a counselor here.
Great stuff. Okay, so this is a very interesting interesting topic. Reason being, people actually think that when it comes to just rehabilitations of recovering addicts or alcoholics, it has to do with just, physical medication, and other therapy. But the auricular laser, it's not actually popular. So the question would be, when did you start doing this type of therapy?
Well, Manla, this started a while ago for me, around about 2017, I think, yeah. So it's been going on for about 7 years now. Just to, put you in the picture, my background is speech therapy and audiology. So the interest in the began from a very, very early age.
Okay.
And I decided to explore it a bit and take it further. So that's when it started in 2017.
Well, that's great stuff. So please tell us, when did this therapy become a mode of healing?
Yes, it's a very, very interesting kind of inner history linked to a lot of auricular laser acupuncture therapy. Let's say around the 1950s, 1960s, it started taking shape. By the way, Einstein was the one that developed the laser.
Okay.
Not many people know that.
Okay.
And when it was developed, he handed it to the physicians, and of course it sat around for a long while. And it was only in the 1950s and 60s that specialists and scientists and researchers started taking an interest in it, and the lab experimentation started. In the 1970s, it was the Soviet Union that came up with very successful treatments in asthma and hypertension.
Using this therapy?
Using a lot, absolutely, and using acupuncture with laser. And that's when the ball started rolling, and of course, it boomed, and everybody started really getting excited about this laser light. And the world wanted to know, how was this light going to actually change world healthcare? And that's when the boom of laser, actually took place. And of course, in the 1980s was when researchers discovered that they could use the laser light or the laser beam instead of needles. So that's when acupuncture became a huge success with laser, because more and more experiments started happening, and then they realized they could treat more and more conditions with it. Yes.
Quite interesting.
Yes.
And what exactly is the treatment based on?
Well, there's two aspects or components to the therapy. One is obviously the acupuncture. A lot of people know about acupuncture, and acupuncture is traditional Chinese medicine. And it's based on stimulating acupoints, and the acupoints are actually connected throughout the body, and it forms a meridian system, almost like a fiber optic network throughout the body. And then once the laser, which is the next component, stimulates an acupoint, it traverses through the meridian and obviously then starts working throughout the body.
And I can imagine it has an impact without the pain from the needles.
Yes, we'll talk about that a little later
as
well.
And the next question is, what can the laser be used to treat?
Yes, that is an interesting question as well, because many people think of lasers and then they get scared and then they wonder, gee, was this going to burn me? Because they hear about laser being used for operations and cutting and things like that. I want to put their mind at ease and say, with that question, I need to answer this, that there's various types of lasers, different classes of lasers, and what happens is they're used for different purposes. So this particular laser is the low-level laser radiation therapy, and obviously, it can be used for various things like pain in the body, massive benefits with pain in the body. And we know addicts go through a lot of pain, their bodies are constantly being bombarded with pain.
Especially when they're withdrawing.
Absolutely. And through the detoxification process as well. And it can be used for skin conditions, like allergies and boils and, abscesses and things like that. And then it was found to be very useful with hearing loss, believe it or not, and especially with tinnitus, which is a very high-pitched ringing sound in the ear, which addicts also land up getting, sometimes from the toxic substances in their body. And, of course, addiction, which is a great big area, drug and alcohol addiction.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I had an ear infection, and luckily I came to you and you did the therapy to me, and it helped me a lot. So I'm just saying that I've been clean for so long, but yet after some time I developed these ear infections, and I'm definitely sure it is what...
dried up and cleared up after
exactly.
that. Yes, no, definitely. A lot of patients that come to us have hearing loss, and they do have middle ear infections. And the laser is brilliant with that, sorting out and also improving their hearing decibel levels, which means that their hearing overall improves.
So you mentioned acupuncture, right?
Yes.
So how is the treatment related to acupuncture?
Okay, so the laser beam basically, stimulates the acupoints, so the meridians. And what happens is that, the acupuncture is used to treat the addiction, because we use the acupoints that is related to addiction to treat the various symptoms that come up in addiction, and we will discuss that a little bit later. So it's very, very related, because the meridians it can be used to excite the entire body when the laser beam traverses throughout the entire meridian system. It awakens the body. And it is believed in Chinese medicine that if this meridian pathway is blocked, if anything happens to this meridian pathway, then you have disorder or dis-ease in the body, and that is what makes someone feel unwell. So when we start opening up the meridian pathways throughout the entire body, the body starts feeling well again, because this light energy, which is the key energy, it's the inner energy, is actually then, it finds its way throughout the body without having a blockage in the system. Okay. And key is very important for us.
Alright, so Ms. Indra, I'm going to put you in the spot right now. Remember, some of us don't understand these medical terms, right? So in a layman's term, how would you say, this is how the therapy is related to acupuncture? Just in a layman's term.
Okay, so when we talk about acupuncture, we normally relate it to needles, right, to needling. But with laser, it is a little bit more beneficial to the patient, because it goes right into the cells. It goes right into the body. It goes right into the bloodstream. And that's how it benefits the entire body. So that's how they relate to each other. The laser and the acupuncture work hand in hand.
Okay, makes perfect sense. So when you think of acupuncture treatment, right, we think of the whole body being involved. In this case, you treat only the ear, and if that's the case, why is it that you treat the ear? Why not any other parts of the body, like the mouth, the nose, or the eye?
Yes. Okay. So actually, this is a very funny part of my job, because when I say acupuncture and I want to treat someone, and I say, no, let me give you some treatment, they actually start, unbuttoning their shirts and saying, so where do you want me to sit? And I'm like, sit right here, because when they find out that I'm only going to treat the ear, actually they look quite disappointed, because they feel, what on earth is going to happen
That's
to my
exactly how
entire
I
body?
felt.
I know.
Yeah.
So a lot of our, patients and our counselors have taken this form of treatment, and they were like, "You're going to treat my ear for nausea or backache or indigestion, really?" And they're quite fascinated by the fact that they still got their clothes on, they're sitting there and they're just relaxing, and and then we're doing the therapy by the ear. Now, you've asked a very important question, and if our viewers will be seeing a picture or a diagram of the ear, and how the entire body or framework of the body is imprinted within the ear. It actually sits within the ear.
Wow.
And this is called the homunculus, and medical experts will know about that. And this entire body being imprinted in the ear, it literally is telling us that the nerve endings for the entire body can be found in the ear. Do you know that?
Wow.
So you can treat the entire body using just the ear points. Wow. And right from, I promise you, nerve endings, can actually then, make cartilage and tendons and ligaments and veins and arteries and the organs and, your bloodstream system and nerve tissue, any tissue in the body, and muscle tissue, anything can be treated by the ear.
I remember the day when you actually had doing the therapy on me.
Yes.
One of the things I was fearful of is that first hearing the word laser, right? Because what happens is, I've heard that if you want to remove a tattoo, they use the laser. So in my mind, laser is something that burns the skin, but after experiencing, I actually realized that maybe lack of knowledge is what keeps us from actually getting help. So I'm just saying, maybe our viewers might think that, this is one of the painful therapies that one has to go through, hearing the word laser.
Yes, and it's not.
And it's not.
It's absolutely not, It's just the opposite of that, actually. So it's amazing that we can use the ear to do this. And people are, I've treated a lot of addicts, being here at Tranquility. And a lot of them come with pain. A lot of them come with arthritis. Some of them come with gout. Some of them come with indigestion.
Right.
And they will come with, problems like asthma and bronchitis and headaches, which is a very, very real thing for them. And mind you, the laser, actually makes them better. And they will come back and say, ma'am, I don't have that pain anymore. Even toothaches, toothache and stomach problems. And the women who experience a lot of period pains, they'll come back and say, I don't have that anymore. Is that the laser?
So I'm just thinking out loud now. Can I find that laser at the discount or pharmacy?
Wish, yes. No, this is a very highly specialized device. And, let me take you a little bit, back to my journey with it as well, which will answer your question. I was, being an audiologist, speech therapist, that's my background. I was very interested in not fitting hearing aids because people really didn't like wearing hearing aids. And then what happened was I decided to look on the net to see whether there was something that, helped hearing loss, cured hearing loss, and especially a condition called tinnitus, which was ringing sounds in the ear. So I thought, maybe something is on the market and I could, find that.
Yeah.
And then my research took me, into lots of Google pages. And then I discovered this laser. And I was fascinated by it, but I couldn't get it at any discount or clicks here because it's not just, a Chinese brand of laser that you can pick up. I had to travel overseas. I wanted to see it for myself. I was invited by the manufacturer, went there, had a look at everything, and I was quite satisfied, trained, to use the device. And then I found out, incidentally, that it's not only used to treat hearing loss.
Wow.
It's used to treat a lot of others. And the conditions, obviously, not obviously, but I've had my interest in holistic healthcare for a while because I studied reflexology and, aromatherapy. I did that on the side. I used to do that. I just wanted to study a whole lot of holistic therapies. And it was actually quite, surprising when I heard from the manufacturer that it's, also used, to treat other conditions. And I said, okay, that suits me just fine, because I can use it to.
So it doesn't only involve, helping only the addict.
Yes,
various.
Correct. It can be used to help just about anybody having pain or skin conditions, like even psoriasis and things like that. So yeah, it's very, very good for all sorts of things.
So you're saying to our viewers, even family members who might be struggling with whatever the case may be, before maybe we close here, you will leave details on how they could also get help.
Absolutely. Via Tranquility, anything is possible.
Okay, you had that guy.
Yes, and just to answer your question, you can't pick it up at any store because this is a highly specialized device, and you need to obviously be trained using it. And once you are, then that should be good to go. But it can be bought online. But it's a very, very specific type of laser. And by the way, I had to also come back after I bought it and then license it with the Devices Council in South Africa as well.
Okay, so can you kindly take us, I think you've answered this before, but I would be grateful if you, take us through the typical, session.
Good. Okay, so I can answer about 3 questions there, and, just do it very quickly with you. So in a laser session, the person is sitting there and, obviously you are pointing the laser to the ear. Instantly, the person feels very, very relaxed and very calm. You can see it, in their faces after the therapy, because the laser beam actually goes right into the cell, and that's another question that that people ask me: what does it do for the cell? So the laser beam goes right through the system. It makes you feel very relaxed, very calm. In fact, it makes you deal with every day's challenge by not throwing your toys off the cot. And people have said to me as well that they're not that angry anymore.
So you get that sense of calmness.
Correct, because the lasers at the same time, releasing a lot of endorphins in your body, because the happy hormones. So it actually then is very good for depression, for anxiety, for nervous tension. Not only cravings and withdrawals, and that's another question that they ask me, what is this good for with addicts? And, literally restlessness, nausea, fatigue.
Yeah, because I think that's what I also suffer from.
Okay. So fatigue and insomnia and sleeping patterns, it can reset your sleeping patterns. And it can also, make appetite changes as well. So in that session, they often don't expect to see anything, but it's amazing when they stand up immediately, they say to me, I feel very different. What did you do? So it's this laser beam that goes right into the cell, and when it goes into the cell, it very quickly penetrates the cell wall. It thins the cell wall so that more nutrients and more water supply can get to that cell. But at the same time, it goes into a little organelle in the cell, which is called the mitochondria. Now, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It contains the power that the cell needs. And within that mitochondria, there's a compound called adenosine triphosphate. So adenosine triphosphate is like an anti-aging molecule for the body. It's exactly what the body needs to anti-age, restore, rejuvenate, and literally revitalize your body.
Wow.
And this little compound, with age, it depletes.
Are you serious?
Yes, it depletes.
So if I continue this therapy, I won't age quickly.
Correct.
You need to do the therapy on me as soon as
that is
possible.
Why people who have laser therapy look so young, and they run around like these 16-year-olds, because it rejuvenates them, it gives them energy, and very often they age at all. And because it tightens skin muscles, and takes away the wrinkles, and it takes away freckles, so you don't look your age, and you don't feel your age either. And so it instantly gives you like a lift. And by thinning the cell walls, it not only improves absorption levels, but this little ATP, it proliferates the production of the manufacture of ATP, and then that is how it gets the body to heal and restore itself. So being an addict, you can imagine how you put your body through the worst. Okay, that body is really battered.
Of course.
Right? When it finishes off, there's toxins throughout the body. So the detoxification that happens with the laser is amazing. It is literally used to detoxify the body.
Wow.
Right? So not only for detoxification, because if you think about the points that we treat on the ear, we do a package of meridians, obviously, and we do the kidney to release fear in the body, because whatever, obviously the body goes into that fight reaction.
Okay, let's go back a bit.
Okay.
You said releasing fear from?
Correct, from the body.
From the body.
Yes, because when you're an addict, the entire system becomes closed up and you go into this fight reaction. That's what drugs do to you. Okay, you're constantly shaking. You're constantly, battling to keep your sanity, right? Keep calm, and that's what happens. I mean, one of the patients right here now, when she came in, she was shaking like an old lady. She couldn't even sign.
That's true.
She couldn't even sign. But if you look at her today, she's got full composure of her body again, and she assigns that to the laser. And it's amazing how when you treat the kidney, to release the fear, you're treating the lung to get back your respiratory control again and treat respiratory issues. You're treating the liver for the detoxification.
Okay, so speaking of the lady, maybe you can even tell us more to say how would an addict benefit from this form of therapy?
Okay, so I can continue from that. And we also treat like the shaman, which is the spirit gate, which translates to the spirit gate. The spirit gate is actually a point that gives you mental wellness, right? And it balances, it balances, the energies in the body and makes one feel mentally well. So even psychosis patients that come here, 1 minute they're so out of it, and the next minute, the next day, they will come and tell me, "Ma'am, do you have that light?" They'll actually ask me, they'll say, "Can I have that light for the ear?" They'll keep pointing to the ear. And I'll say, "Why?" And they'll say, "No, but it's made me feel a lot better." It actually helps them focus, concentrate, attention. So it's amazing how it increases the attention span the next day. So the laser doesn't take like 2 weeks to work on you. It literally gives you that lift within a day or a few hours. It's very, very good.
Wow. My last question would be, why would Eric choose this form of treatment over traditional acupuncture treatments?
Okay, so traditional medicine and traditional acupuncture treatments, that we use needles. And when people think needles and the ear, they want to run away as far as possible. I wouldn't get one person to sit for me, if we had to needle the ear. It's very painful. So also, if you think about the infection, using needles, you wouldn't want to take the treatment if you think about the infection. You wouldn't want to take the treatment if you think about the pain. Also the length of time, because this treatment takes about 5 or 6 minutes, but the traditional acupuncture session takes about 20 to 40 minutes. So there's a lot of benefits. That's why somebody would choose laser acupuncture versus your traditional acupuncture. Okay,
so let's say we have one of our viewers says, "You know what, Miss Indra, I'm very interested. Who do I call? What is it that they need to do in order to experience this wonderful therapy session?"
So Manda, unfortunately, we're the only one that offer it in South Africa.
We the only one?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Nobody practices auricular laser acupuncture. It's not a very popular field. I think that for some reason or the other, it hasn't grown. Whereas overseas in European countries, it's very popular. I'm surprised because it brings such fast relief and such long-lasting relief. We've treated your ear infection a while ago and it's not even come back. So we can definitely ask them to contact Tranquility if they want any more information about it, and we'd be happy to give them any information that they want about the laser.
Perfect. So Ms. Indra has made it clear that we're the only one who practices this. So if you're interested, please give us a call. and we'll make it happen. Like you said, anything is possible with Tranquility.
Correct.
Ms. Indra, thank you very much for
Where the
taking
magic
your time.
happens.
Magic happens.
Where the magic
and
happens.
the transformation.
Yes, and the transformation.
Thank you
Moths
very
to
much.
butterflies.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming to our studios, share this wonderful information with our viewers, and please continue doing what you do, which is very good and a great job.
Thank you very much, Mandla. Thank you for having me, and thank you for listening, viewers.
My people, till we meet